On YouTube. All right, it says we live. We'll be right back.
Let's go, Starks. I see you. What we got here? This that? This that O.B.F.C. Yeah, I mean, we came to plant these seeds. I mean, we have to use the music breaking oppression.
My seeds, man, I put that on me. I make sure they gotta eat on the job, on the streets for my seeds. Young kings, young queens, R.B.G, red, black, and the green plant seeds. Now that's what I call my team, family over everything. I ain't never out of reach for my seeds. And that's how we gotta be, real ones follow me. Each one, teach one, plant seeds.
Checking my status since I've been crowned father. I grind harder, a wife and 2 daughters, a righteous black God in that red, black, and green. That's balance for the beam, family over everything. I'm dropping seeds every chance I get, and then I watch them all grow. No magic tricks. Saint Kofi, you know, bruh, gotta put that on your platter. Don't care about what they say, we say black fathers matter.
When it comes to my seeds, gotta keep that real energy. Literally, every single day create memories. Figuratively, I orchestrate moves like a symphony. Vividly, I sit with these thoughts like epiphanies. Literally, can change the game and make history officially. My daughter never see me in a penitentiary. That shit to me, cause all we got is us, all we got is trust. Every day I gotta rush, I don't believe in love. Man, I put that on me. I make sure they gotta eat on the job, on the streets for my seeds. Young kings, young queens, R.B.G, red, black, and the green plant seeds. Now that's what I call my team, family over everything. I ain't never out of reach for my seeds. And that's how we gotta be, real ones follow me. Each one, teach one, plant seeds.
Like the back street. I let my son ride shotgun while these other suckers take the back seat, and that's the only one that can pass me. Something heavy in my diaper bag, homie, you can match me. Riding down the avenues with the seat back. Who that? Diamondback, proud to be black, that's your daddy. Sitting clean in the rag seat, going hard for my committee and La Familia's mad deep. Black fathers, yeah.
Look, I'm from a spot where blacks get rejected. Selling dope and gangbanging get you well respected. Being a felon get you well neglected. Where the black fatherhood challenge was accepted. To show the youth a better route. Teach them right from wrong and what the benefits of life about. Don't get caught up in the streets. You can make it out. Put that on my soul. I'ma show my kids a safer route.
Man, I put that on me. I make sure they gotta eat on the job, on the streets for my seeds. Young kings, young queens, R.B.G, red, black, and the green plant seeds. Now that's what I call my team, family over everything. I ain't never out of reach for my seeds. And that's how we gotta be, real ones follow me. Each one, teach one, plant seeds.
Y'all see what time
Today I
it is?
will conclude
It's the
our talk
R.B.G
on
joint.
father
This the
and his
R.B.G
role.
way. Yeah, I
His
mean,
role is so mighty
shout out
as
to
the
all
head
black
of his
fathers out there.
household. His role is so mighty in helping to build a nation that really we could talk all year
Come
on father and never.
All right. Oh, I got my thing playing. Peace, 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 and Black African power. Welcome back to the Warrior Scholar Show. I am your host, Kofi Piesie. I am a writer, an author, a publisher, a music producer, amongst other things. Go ahead, co-host.
Yes. My name's Son the Great, Sundiata, GR8, the Hard God correspondent. I am a father. I am a motivation vocal expressionist, published author, multi-talented, starter of the Vengers, and co-host here with my brother Kofi on Warrior Scholars. And I'm just happy to be here with my brothers. You know what I mean? I'm saying we got work. They put work in. They put work in how it's supposed to be worked. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So we got the mighty, I call them the mighty group. The Our Black Fathers Committee. Could y'all individually introduce yourselves, please?
Yes, sir.
I'm Brother Bilal Munir Rahim. As all of the brothers mentioned, or at least so far, I'm a father. I'm an activist, raptivist, author, uh, business owner, land owner. Uh, man, I'm a husband. All of that. All of the attributes that create a strong black man. That's me.
Peace and blessings, peace and power. You already know it's Big Crondo, VP of O.B.F.C, O.B.F.C, the almighty O.B.F.C, father, artist, landowner, business owner, mentor, and mentee. Uh, just glad to be here, man, and salute to y'all brothers as well.
Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and blessings. Mr. Thurston M. Smith here. You know, the list goes on, but father, husband, educator. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Okay.
I'm just happy to be here.
No doubt. We happy to have you guys on the panel, man. Before we get into the interview, I always have to give my spiel. I got to run down these definitions, what a warrior, what a scholar is, and what it is from my perspective when you're combining both words. So a warrior is a soldier, combative, one who rages war, a person engaged in experience in warfare, broadly a person engaged in some struggle or conflict. A scholar is a person who attends a school or studies under a teacher, a person who does advanced studies in special fields, a learned person, a holder of scholarship, a person who studies a subject of great deal, especially at a university. But when combining both of those words, the warrior and the scholar, we get warrior scholar. So from my perspective, a warrior scholar is someone who is well studied and waging war against mistruths, pseudoisms, and willing to stand on the battlefield against institutions and platforms that promote that. A warrior scholar is someone on a mission for the truth, for accurate and sound information. A warrior scholar is one who is disciplined, good characters, morals, and willing to fight back against those who use misinformation dangerously. So these brothers that we have on the panel today are definitely warrior scholars. And me going back and forth with Brother Bilal, I told him I become fans as I began to do my research, more research on this collective, right? So I'm greatly honored to have you brothers on the panel today. Y'all doing a lot of things in y'all community, man. We definitely gonna get into it. But since this is the Warrior Scholar Show, can you all name a few of y'all warrior scholars who have influenced y'all on y'all journey?
Well, for starters, my journey started with Malcolm X. I think just reading the autobiography of Malcolm X, I never turned back since then. That was very at the beginning of this journey for me. That was before I had a little bit more grasp on my direction as I do right now. So when I was real young in it, Malcolm X was the catapult that boosted me into where I'm at now. I would definitely say Marcus Garvey as well, and then the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Thomas Sankora, Marcus Garvey, and Khalid Muhammad. That would be my, just off the top of the head, my warrior scholar meaning people right there.
Okay.
For me, I'm gonna say Leo Muhammad. Leo Muhammad, a good mentor of mine, Dr. Will, and I think we're just gonna go with that.
Okay.
Go with those two.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Dr. Miles Monroe.
Okay. Most definitely, man. A lot of those individuals y'all name are definitely some of the cats who had some impact on our lives as well as others in this movement and in this struggle. It's on you, son.
Yeah. So, what's the name? What is the name of your organization slash your music group, and why is it named what it is? There's another question I got after that, but I wanna ask that first so it's understood, just in case nobody else knows what that means. Break that down for us real quick. I don't know.
Blood cousins. And you catch that?
No, you were muted for a minute.
Yeah, I had muted your mic when after everybody else started speaking. It had a lot of noise in the background. But go ahead.
Okay, gotcha. So I was just saying. Go ahead.
No, you good. Go ahead.
Okay, bet. Yeah, I was just saying, me and Crondo, that's my blood cousin. So we've been doing music for a while. We did music under other group names, and for a minute there, I took a hiatus and just stepped away from music altogether, and stepped away from like a certain mentality, a certain lifestyle. But I wanted to, as I was gaining knowledge and uncovering different things about our history, I wanted to invite my brothers back into it, and I knew that even in the streets, we was all able to relate on fatherhood, whether that's being fathers or sometimes the lack of fatherhood in our homes. But that was always a subject that we was able to relate on. So when I was thinking about the name, I wanted to definitely include fathers, but I wanted to make sure everybody felt included as well. So instead of just like the Black Fathers Committee or my Black Fathers Committee, is our Black Fathers Committee, because it's for all of us. You know what I mean? And initially, it didn't start for us to be doing music. It started for us to get back into the teachings and just learn more. And from there, we grew back into music from there. And instead of changing like the name, we just rolled with the name we had been studying under, also O.B.F.C. So that's how it also became a music group as well.
Beautiful, beautiful. It's a movement before the music happened, and the music
Yes,
is the adaptation. You mean we at Team R.B.G do overstand that movement ourselves. So, with that being said, what is the difference between a father and a dad? And both words refer to a male parent, but from your perspective, what is the difference in the difference?
That's a perfect question for my brother Thurston.
Thank you. Thank you, Blood. Yeah, so to my understanding, a father is someone that births, and a dad is someone that steps into the responsibilities of caring for an individual. You know what I'm saying? Because I might not be a father to all children, but I play a role as far as a dad to all the children. Because as a father and as a dad, that's something I just can't turn off, right? So with my role and responsibility that I play into the community, I'm the community dad. So if I see a kid that's stepping up or stepping out of place, it's my place to then, if they're out of line, to put them in order. You know, because if not, what I learned is that parenting and being a father and being a dad is something that you can't turn off. I can't be a dad sometimes. I'm a dad all the time. So it's my responsibility, like I just said. If something's out of line, it's my job to put it in order. So that's how I look at it. The difference between a father and a dad. So a father is someone that you actually birth.
I love that description because it gives a positive aspect on both a father and a dad. And a lot of times people will give you well, you a father, you just a dad because you birth, but you ain't really a father in that situation. But what you just did was make sure that it's understood that even the dads are the important aspect in the community. Your responsibility is every child that isn't yours as a dad. Your responsibility as a father is the children that came through you to do. I love that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
And
sir.
much respect on that. Much respect on that.
Yeah, great breakdown. Great breakdown on that. How critical is it? how critical is it to begin mentoring young black boys earlier? And what age do you believe mentorship should ideally start? That's a question for you, all three, or one can answer the question.
I would say as early as maybe 6, 7 years old. However, it depends on the village that you're in. For example, if you already connected to a strong village, then that process needs to start from the beginning. The baby needs to be comfortable with his aunts and uncles that are in the village that may not necessarily come through them. That title wasn't necessarily came by blood, but it may have been earned, or it has come through spirit, or something in that nature. But if that's the case, those aunts and uncles need to start that process from birth. But
Oh man, that was hot fire. That was hot fire. That's what that was. You know, when you speaking that hot fire, sometimes you get hot on these airwaves. You know.
Can one of you brothers speak on that some while until Brother Bilal return? Do I need to repeat the question again?
Yeah, what was the question?
The question
Yeah, one more
was
time.
how critical is it to begin mentoring young boys early? And at what age do you believe mentorship should ideally start?
Okay. I think first of all, it starts like within the family, like Bilal was saying, cousins, big cousins, and uncles, uh, people in the community that are in the neighborhood or just friends of the family. You know what I mean? If he's a positive brother, he should start mentoring as soon as possible. But I think it's important because, you know what I mean? Me personally, I don't think I had one. If I did, I think my personal life maybe would have went on a different trajectory. But I also feel that I had the wrong ones. You feel me? And if I'd had the correct ones, maybe I would have started like my knowledge of self uh, part of my life earlier. And my parents were R.B.G as well. Just when I was younger, I kind of thought it was low key like corny. You know what I mean? Until I got real life experience, and then I realized, yo, this is something that we have to have. This is something that we have to have. I should have been taking it more serious. But I think as far as mentorship, I think it should begin around, 7 or 8, and then it never stops because you never stop learning. You know what I mean? I'm in my early 40s, and I have a mentor. You know what I mean? And also a mentee. So I think it just goes along with life, constantly evolving, constantly growing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
echo that too as well. To answer your question, I believe that you should be mentoring before the child is even born.
Mm,
So that's the preventative measures. Because right now you're catching the intervention,
mm-hmm.
right? We're trying to now get them on the right track. However, just think about what it would have been if I would have got to that young man to understand his identity and how to then properly understand the science of mating to find that right woman, and then got to the son. It could have been a lot differently. So, but
Mm-hmm.
right now, for some people that are stepping in that intervention role, you already have to work with the young man, now work with the mom, and now work with the children to try to somehow get them all on one accord of what it then looks like to live a righteous life, right? Because because I was speaking to someone and we uh, came up with this process of why things are the way they are, and it could be to no instruction, the wrong instruction, disobedience, or miseducation.
Mm-hmm.
So once we can identify those things, that then allows us to help out the person that needs to be mentored, and as far as the whole, not just the children, the whole family. Because even if you do mentor the young boy or the young girl, they still have to go back home to the family. So that 2 hours that they might have spent with us, when they get back home, they're spending the rest of that time with their family. That might try to uneducate what they might have learned to what they think how things should go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's very vital, man. Um, a lot of this can be solved through, going back to, we have to update things, but just retrieving, going back into the past and understanding the rites of passage, you know what I'm saying? And letting the men mentor and deal with the boys, and the women deal with the women. The men teach uh the man what a man duty is, you know what I'm saying? And that is to not only be someone who's financially, but someone who is a protector. You know what I'm saying? Someone who is um, educated on family structure. What I mean by educated on family structure, understand that a man is supposed to be with a woman, and a woman is supposed to be with a man in order to continue to extend life or continue to produce life, but and also be able to educate on cultural experiences dealing with a man, cultural experiences dealing with a woman. So that those were some of the things that we did or our ancestors did when we talk about the rites of passage. So we didn't have at that particular time a lot of men and women who are out here lost because we had a system set in place, you know, and people set and the right people set in place to mentor and guide the youth along the way. In order to be a grown man or in order to be a grown woman, one had to complete its rites of passages in order to be recognized as a grown man or a grown woman or even a human being, you know, in our communities, right? So, you know, that's one thing that I say that our key element or key piece that we're missing is the rites of passage, you know, and you know, early motherhood. You know what I'm saying? We got how can a child raise a child? We got children having kids at the age of 12 and 13 now. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of issues that is going on, but I like both answers. If you want to complete your thought, brother Bilal, you able to complete your thought. I know you got knocked off in the middle of what you was building on.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. I was just mentioning that if you already connected to a strong village, then you want to have your child get acquainted with that village as soon as possible, as early as possible in the child's life. But if it's something that you're looking to connect to a strong village yourself and you want to introduce your children to it, I think maybe around the age of 6 or 7 for these young boys. Um, I'm not quite sure as the young ladies. I would assume that they're around the same age, but I think around 6, 7, maybe 8 at the latest would be perfect for the young men. Putting as many positive black men in front of them as early as possible. I think that's going to be a big benefit. Giving them that knowledge of self as early as possible. I think that would be a big benefit as well. And then just like being a parent and vetting different villages as well. I think that that age range allows you to um, feel a little bit more comfortable because your child is already has a foundation and more than likely has a family that is connected to. So if that particular village doesn't work for you, then it's not as bad on the child as it could be. So I just think that overall, I would say anywhere between 6 to 8 if you're searching for a village, if you're already connected to a village, as soon as possible.
Yeah, and I like those numbers as well because brother Kenjufu, through his books as well, he said that's you know that's particular age to start reaching out is between the ages of 6 and 9. You know what I'm saying? Before you
Yes, sir.
completely lose them or they completely get influenced by outside influences.
Facts.
And that
Facts.
and that was and that and that study was based off for maybe like 30 years ago, 40
Yes.
years ago as well. So just think about now with technology and how soon we could lose uh, the child's interests, thoughts, and just the a grasp on their direction. How early that can actually come nowadays, because the more the more in tune with technology the child is, the typically the less they're involved in what you have and what you're building in the home, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely does. It's crazy. You said that one of my partners, his daughter, I didn't understand his daughter, 3 years old. She has a Apple iPad and a cell phone, and she know how to work that Apple pad thoroughly. Go through and surf at the age of 3 years old. So,
Right.
so
Yeah,
yeah,
I see it all the time. And, you know what I mean? With my grands and other children, You know what I mean? And when I was younger, you know what they did with me? They stuck me in front of the television commercials and everything. You know what I'm saying? Sit down, shut up, boy, watch this. You know what I'm saying? So that has transpired to what we see with the children. But speaking of which, since we are talking about that, there is you still do the Let's Build call-in conversation for Black fathers every Tuesday on Zoom, and
Yes, sir.
and how have those conversations help create a stronger network among the Black men?
Man, that's everything for me right now. That's my therapy. That's my opportunity to release. That's my counsel, my wise counsel.
Mhm.
And that's also how we've developed different businesses from that conversation as well. So
Right.
we're not only just on there venting, but we're talking about solutions, and we're our conversations are based on future plans and different things like that. So it's also an opportunity for iron to sharpen iron.
Right.
And we're building on there, and just even if it's just conversation and communication, somebody drops something out there, whatever you give back should top that, so it's an opportunity repetition for us to build as Black men as well, and get comfortable speaking about things that are uncomfortable to you, especially in that safe space. Because the brothers that's on there, they show up consistently. So we that's one thing that we also promote as well. If you come through, continue to come through as well, so that you not only you will feel more comfortable, but the people, the brothers that are on there, are sharing their personal challenges, are able to share more openly also.
Right. Right. The camaraderie in that conversation is part of the healing of the traumatized Black man, Black male in this country, and it's very important for us to be able to speak to each other so that we can go home and speak properly. You know what I mean? With our counsel being the voice that is spread out once we get back home. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
sir.
it's very important, and thank you, brothers, for that. Thank you, brothers, for that being the model, being a model of that happening right now.
Can anybody join those Zoom calls, or if one wanted to be involved in those Zoom calls, have those conversations, how
Yeah,
how would it?
we had a number that you could text and get the link, but now you can just email us or inbox one of us. We're working on the QR code right now. But yeah, once you get the link, it's the same link, every time, and it's always at Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So wherever your time zone is at, it's always consistent.
I think that's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, 9 p.m. Eastern right now, and we usually go for about an hour. Sometimes, depending on how squiggly the conversation get, it can go a little bit longer. But we usually go for about an hour, and we give everybody the opportunity to vent, say something, or even just chime in.
Right. Right.
Yes, sir, I like that. I noticed you all launched, and this is something that solidified it for me, is I noticed y'all launched
Right.
Black Authors Master Series, covering topics like foundational of writing, manuscript development, publishing, and marketing. How important is writing and comprehension in our community long-term growth and empowerment? Again, I love that because I'm an author. Um, I'm a publisher. I have a publishing company, so I publish books. I'm an author. I have a magazine that has a staff of writers and a collective where we sharpen each other writing skills and develop each other writing skills in any particular genre. And I believe that literature you know what I'm saying, is essential in our community, as well as comprehension is essential in our community, and telling our stories from our own perspective and our own worldview is very important. So when me digging and seeing that, man, again, I'll read the topic. Read this again. Um, Y'all launched the Black Authors Master Series covering topics like foundation of writing, manuscript developing, publishing, and marketing. How important is writing and comprehension for our community long-term growth and empowerment?
Very, very, very essential. I second everything that you just mentioned about literature in itself. I think that's the number one tool. That's how we all got here, in a sense. That's how we all became into the conscious that we grew into, is through some sort of literature. And as you mentioned, it's important for us to be present in the time that we're living in right now, but also document it. So what we're doing is we're documenting the time that we're living in right now, so that the future generations have a better understanding of what we were going through in this particular time, and how it's presented in this particular time, which could be different from how it was previously presented and how it could possibly be presented in the future. But we're documenting this specific time. And I just feel like it's a duty. It's a duty and a responsibility for us, which you find more duties and responsibilities the more of a righteous path you decide to strive for. If you try to do anything right, you'll see like, wow, it's responsibilities with living right. So I think that's one of them as well.
Yeah.
Is being able to document that and tell that story. We're coming up on the last class at the end of this month, and then in August, for Black August, we also do the Black Author Summit. So the authors who participated in this particular master series, we do like a they'll release their book in August, and then we'll give them an opportunity to present it from to the community at Grassroots Bookstore, which is the only Black owned bookstore that we have here in Phoenix, Arizona. So we're connected and partnering with them as well to host that Black Author Series. So just another duty and responsibility that we feel is necessary. And our brother Javion actually leads that particular venture. He couldn't join us today, but that's his baby that he's cultivating, and we supporting him on that venture.
Right. Collective work and responsibility. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
sir.
Cross promotion, all that is proper. You know what I mean? Shout out to Rock. Rock was, said as righteous and salute. And you're right. Living the righteous life is really the hard. You know what I mean? That's really the hard aspect. That's really the what they would consider gangster or whatever. That's what that is. You know what I'm saying? Handling your business and doing what you're supposed to do for the growth and development of yourself, family, community, culture, and consciousness. And you brothers, listen, we only been in this conversation for what, 20, 30 minutes, and look at all the work you're already doing. And I know for a fact we haven't even touched the rest of that. You know what I mean? But it does lead into, you know what I'm saying? Like I told y'all, they put that work in, yo. I told you.
Yeah, hold up, son, before you ask the question. I wanted to ask, you mentioned the summit in August. What did you said, an author summit, a writing summit? What was that that you?
It's called the Black Author Summit.
What date is that on, man? Like I said, I'm a publisher. Got my own publishing company, and I'm owner of a magazine. So I do a lot of traveling to like a lot of different publishing events, book speaking events, book launches, and etc. Man, I definitely would like to come out there and support if it's on a date that I'm able to come out, because I got a lot of stuff going on in August. I think I got the Baltimore, the Atlanta, and Orlando in August. But if I can squeeze in there, I'll definitely try to come out to that. You got the dates on that
If
already?
I'm not mistaken, we agreed yesterday that it was going to probably be the second week of August, but I'm not for sure on that. But either way, we would love to have you join us. And even if we're not able to make that happen on when we run back the Master Series, because Of course, this won't be the only time. There's also an option for you to be a presenter on there as well for one of those classes. So
Oh,
we can definitely build and make that connection one way or another.
okay, most definitely, man. I'm down for it, man. I'm definitely down. If I can't make it out there, I'll look and see. If I can't, I'll let you know. I got your number. I can't make it, but I definitely be involved in presenting some information, helping out with the classes any way as possible. Like I said, that's my lane, man. That's what I do for a living. That's what I love love doing, man. So that'll be no problem.
Bet.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, brother Patah said he's coming out there for the R.B.G explosion. And yeah, there you go. Where the vegan spots? You know what I'm saying?
There's a
Got
few of them.
you.
There's a few of them out here. There's a few of them.
Yes, sir.
But I'll be more point with that though.
Hey,
Yeah,
yo,
I got some spots.
tell him just
Yeah.
tell him eat some of them vegetable tacos. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be good. All vegetable tacos. You ain't had a taco till you had a taco from out that way. Son. What we eating over here ain't listen, trust me. I was mad. I was mad when I got back. Like y'all been fooling me this whole time. You know what I mean? Out that way, that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, that the R.B.G explosion leads into the discussion of music and today's mainstream music often promotes self-destruction and self-destructive narratives around drugs, violence, and disrespect. What is the core message behind the music our Black Fathers produces, and how do you aim to combat these harmful stereotypes? I already know the answer, but act like I don't.
I mean, we got to make we making it look cool. You know what I mean? I know that sounds like a cliche answer, but it's just the truth. Like it got to be cool to be smart. It got to be cool to be sharp. Cool to be intelligent, man. Cool to be about your business, and cool to be a motherfucking man.
Yes.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And that's basically everything that we promote. And that's everything that we are. And it's just so happened to be we good. We got bars.
And they got bars. This is a fact. You know what I'm saying? Like
I,
if y'all know, look, go to you listen, I'm gonna put it up later on after this show. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna hear the bars in the studio. Shout out to Big Yo. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Brothers,
Shout out to Big Yo.
yeah, they brothers doing their thing, man.
yeah,
Uh um
y'all definitely making it look cool. Y'all definitely making it look
listen,
cute, especially with the visuals. I was checking
yeah,
out your. I've been digging in y'all for the past week and a half, man. I've been trying to look at everything, listen to everything. You know what I'm saying? All on the web page. I just so like I said, I became a fan and just the visuals. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make it look cool. You know what I'm saying? Y'all
yes, sir.
rapping, with something that has some powerful, inspiring, motivating. You know what I'm saying? Uplifting messages and substance, you know what I'm saying, where damn, what is he talking about? And that's what we need. We need that because we needed to look a certain way, you know what I'm saying, for the children, for the youth. And that's one thing that I like about you all as well. Y'all mentoring a lot of young boys. And my rhetoric that I keep saying over and over on these platforms is I don't care, I don't give a damn about the grown folks. My mission is the children, right? And how can we impact the children? What can we do to change the narrative, change the perspective on what we do so it can look cool and they can gravitate towards. So y'all definitely doing a good job, you know what I'm saying, with the visuals, you know what I'm saying, for in the music, as well as the messages in there, man. So I want to salute y'all, you know what I'm saying, for that, and just salute y'all, just for boots on the ground, trying to impact the grown men to be men and be fathers. Uh, so yeah, man, most definitely, man. Salute to y'all.
Yes, sir. Yeah, definitely.
Appreciate that.
You know
I
what I mean? And
think at a long time at the beginning of it all, we initially started with just helping, offering our assistance to men. But through that journey, we realized that if we really wanted to make an impact, we was gonna have to like start a lot younger. And that's how we really got into mentoring, because now we have a better opportunity to play a part in some of the decision making that the young men are doing. When you are a full grown man, it's kind of harder to unlearn a lot of the things that you've already been taught. But when you're still learning and you don't quite know anything, being in a position to offer something positive and powerful to the young men, to me, is a more beneficial position to be in. So that's what I would say. Mentoring the youth would be number one at my list, and then, like, peer to peer support for my brothers, that would be number two, because that's also like the motivating part for myself. I need my brothers is to help me to continue to have the energy I need to help the youth, if that makes sense. As we pour into each other, I'm learning things from them, they learning things from me, and then we can go back and give it all back to the youth the correct way. So it all goes hand in hand. But I just know that the youth is the biggest part for me, is being able to have that influence on the youth. And I look at it just like the other ventures. This is a great responsibility to have, and if you look at it as a responsibility, it's harder to uh, to fail on that particular cause. You feel me? Or to fall short. Everything's not going to be right or perfect, but when you look at it like as a duty or responsibility, it's easier to give it all you got.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You had something else, son? I ain't mean to cut you off. You was
No,
trying to.
no, 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 no. Listen, it's all flowing where it's gonna go to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I see it. I just know that they got bars too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they you know what I mean? They're bringing the visuals, they bring in the action, they bring in the solution, and then you have the audacity and nerve to have bars with that too.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So you're not just teaching the children what to do in a physical form and raising them at their aspect of who they are, but then you're showing them the difference between what they're being told is good and what really is quality and substance. You know what I mean? Within the
Absolutely.
music and the entertainment, you mean the distraction that they're giving them, you're giving them infotainment. You're not distracting them. You're bringing them forward, but you're making it palatable, and you're making it, you know what I mean, manly. You're making it, there's foundation in the voices, you know what I mean, whenever you guys are rapping and saying whatever you're saying, and it's a fact, you know what I mean? Outside of the fact that first time I see you, you know what I mean, I thought Crondon, I thought he was just the bodyguard, the security. I was like, y'all wrote with your own security, you know what I'm saying? And then he spit fire, you know what I mean? Dylon, you know what I'm saying? Out on the stage, you know what I'm saying, at the massacre, was like, and I was like, yo, nobody at no time, whenever you listen to your music, will you hear garbage. You'll hear talent, you hear skills, you'll hear substance, you know what I'm saying? And then you see the work that you're doing outside of that in the essence that you present when you spit what you spit at any time. So I guess I did have something else to say.
It's all good, brother. It's all good. O.B.F.C. Was featured on the R.B.G. Gumbo mixtape. Can you walk us through how you became a part of the project? Also, why do you choose as your contribution? What did you choose? Why did you choose the songs as your contributions? And what are your thoughts on the complete body of work?
That's a great question.
Wait, I'm
So,
wearing this shirt in regards to, you know what I'm
right.
saying? On the back it has Musa. It's not just my name, but I got the shirt too. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So yeah,
hard,
yeah.
man. I think so. I was introduced to the R.B.G. community in 2016 in Cleveland, Ohio. We were at the Republican National Convention. Malik Shabazz had hosted an event out there, and I tapped in with Y.G. Preach from Washington, from Tacoma. I think he's from Tacoma, and he had made a couple moves and allowed me to get a little time spitting on the performance parts that they had on that particular event. But while I was out there, I happened to meet Brick the Foundation as well. And that was around the time he had dropped that Black Fist mixtape. And man, when I heard that mixtape, I'm like, man, this shit is so dope. Like I'm hella motivated at this point, you know, because that was another time I realized, like, you know, I can take the music and still do something powerful with it. You feel me? So from that point on, after that event right there, that weekend, I went to R.B.G weekend in Texas. Uh, and that's when I tapped in with Baba Amin and Supreme and Judge, just all of the brothers and sisters out there in Fort Worth. I tapped in with them. And even one the second year I came, that's when I met Rock also, you know what I mean? I didn't have my flash drive, you feel me? And I was probably like one of the only people there that didn't know everybody, because everybody else already knew everybody. But the brother was solid, and I was chopping it up with him. I'm like, man, can I use your flash drive so I could, you know what I mean, do my thing, bust my move? And he was just so solid, no problem at all. Let me, you know, get his flash drive, and I was still able to do it. But that was another opportunity for me to understand, like, the love that's being spread throughout this R.B.G community. You feel me? So from that point in, I was locked in. You know, I start inviting my brothers out there as well. We went to the R.B.G weekend as a group before, but then after that, we went to the massacre, and then, like, the community somewhat started to go in different ways. So when the team R.B.G came about, it was an opportunity to bring it all back together and bring that love that I initially experienced all back together. So when I seen that, I'm like, definitely, you feel me? Like, that's where we need to be at, to make sure we stay iron sharpen iron, make sure we on you know, we doing what we were supposed to do, but we also extract that energy every time we go to another city or state. We see what the R.B.Gs is doing there, and we take that energy back and bring it back home. So I just know that, you know, Team R.B.G is an opportunity for us to keep that camaraderie going, continue to build it. And then in regards to the mixtape, I would say Plant Seeds is because that's our foundation song. We, you know, we fathers at first, you know what I mean? Fatherhood first. So that song is about fatherhood, and and Lightweight kind of went viral when we first dropped the video. You know, brothers was tapping in from all over the world, Brazil and all different continents of the world, just tapping in. Like, I love what y'all doing and how y'all making Black fatherhood look cool. So that's always going to be one of our go-tos. And then Mansa Musa, I mean, just the name itself is, you know what I mean? It's an opportunity to obviously teach, but it's also an opportunity for them to let for listeners to let the listeners know that, like, brothers from everywhere know this stuff. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
The information, you know what I mean? The information is not, it's not only for one particular crowd or anything. Like, way out here on the West, they know about Mansa Musa too. You feel me? And they live in that. You feel me? So
yes, sir.
That's how that track came about also, you know, and I just thought it'd be a good track to have on there also.
Man, that track is super hard. Man, the video is the visuals, man. That thing is, yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we had Sensei James,
sir.
the specialist James in there teaching us a couple of moves as well. It's crazy because when we was doing the video, he was in there, he was just thinking, and he's like, okay, I got something. So he's like, okay, I need y'all to do this, do this, do this, do this. Okay, now put it all together. And we was like, oh shit, we know some shit, you know.
Right.
He taught us a whole movement, and we didn't even really know what we was doing. So by the time we got to the end, he's like, man, I just gave y'all a little piece of the game that I had to, it took me years to learn. You feel me?
Right.
So yeah, that was a dope experience for sure.
Yeah. So what was the oh, go ahead, son.
No, I was just whatever they was commenting on. I was like, yeah, it fire, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That thing is, that thing make you know what I mean? it make you jump and make you pound on your chest a little something. You know what I'm saying? You're like, yeah, that's me, that's us. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it goes beyond pride. There's an honor and a dignity in it. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a drug dealer, but you mean this brother who actually lived make the drug dealers look poor.
Right.
And if you chasing the money, you know what I mean? This is what you go after. This is what you draw to you. You don't chase that money. You draw this to you. You know what I mean? It's already in you. Yeah, you ain't got to go nowhere. So, and this is
And
stronger than
if you listen to the hook, that's pretty much what Crondo is saying in the hook too.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Oh, I know the song. I loved the song before it was on Gumbo. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's my middle name. Yeah, that right there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. You don't know who Mansa Musa is? Here, listen to this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Bless.
Yeah, it was a twofold question. Though, what was the, what was y'all thoughts on? I would like to get y'all thoughts on after the complete project came out. What was y'all thoughts on the completed project? The Team R.B.G. Gumbo.
It was dope, man. I think that it was a genius idea to even put together, and we were just honored to be brought up to even be a part of it. But yeah, when it was all said and done, I was like, man, this some talented brothers, man, that are all across the nation on here, and different styles. That's what I like too. Nobody sounds the same. Everybody got their own thing. So to hear that was dope as well. But yeah, just blessed to be a part of it, man, and how it came out. Can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, boy. Black State of Emergency. Plug. Black State of Emergency is coming in August, y'all. Black State of Emergency is coming in August. The gumbo get your bowl. If you haven't heard gumbo, go get that gumbo at www.teamrbg.com. www.teamrbg.com. Go get your gumbo, get your bowl. But that Black State of Emergency is coming, and that's the precursor. This Black State of Emergency is. Oh man, that's all you. That's what you say about that.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
brother Thurston didn't make the album, but man, he got some bars and he got some beats and everything too. He's sitting over there quiet, but he got something to say too.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Man, just your thoughts, Bilal and Brother Thurston. What are y'all thoughts on it as well when y'all heard the complete project?
Man, same sentiments for sure. I was happy to have the opportunity to be a part of it. I couldn't imagine it dropping it and we not being a part of it. I definitely would have felt some type of way. Like it's too dope for us not to be a part of this. You know what I mean? I would have still bumped it,
Yeah.
knocked it, but I was happy to be a part of it and just hearing the different sounds, the different music, and all in one place. But it's another project of representing R.B.G. So when we're talking about people who have no prior knowledge of R.B.G, we can use it as a tool to help teach. You feel me? So now it's just another tool that we have to continue to spread what we're doing. That's what I like about it also.
Yeah, y'all need to check out that I actually did two pieces on it. I did one that I put on my blog site. I did a whole review on the mixtape. And I talked about how all three mixtapes are institutions, and each one of the MCs is the professor inside the institution giving a lesson. So, like what you said, for people that may not understand what R.B.G is, listening to those institutions, those three, red, black, and green, those are institutions that has professors in there displaying their artistry, you know what I'm saying, through the music, but you teaching through the music to liberate the minds. So you are giving them a education. So if a person don't know about Mansa Musa, or don't know about Garvey, don't know about the pyramids in Egypt or Kemet, if people don't know about R.B.G or what Pan-Africanism is, or what black nationalism is, a collective work and unity. You know what I'm saying? That Gumbo album is, that's what I kind of wrote about in the blog site. So, and then I did an official one in my magazine. I have a music section in there. So I did it, according to rating it by the musical metric, but by my metric, not by their metrics, and rated it. So definitely check both of those out if y'all want it. I'll definitely send it to you all. And what about you, brother Thurston, when you heard the mixtape? What
Oh man, I love it. I love what you guys got going. I haven't fully been all the way through it yet, but just when our brother Blah been doing music for a long time, and, been over actually 20 years, doing music, and then now being able to come into this side of things is definitely motivating to myself, because I noticed that a lot of us as we get older, we kind of just like, oh, I'm done with the music because it's a young man's generation, it's a young man's sport, or I can't be with it no more. But when I got put onto the R.B.G music and what O.B.F.C was doing before, it just inspired me before. So now I can just be using my intellect, to be on the track. Because I talk to my kids and talk to the youth is that the people that you're idolizing, they're sexy on the internet. I'm sexy in real life. You know what I'm saying? I'm the everyone doesn't wear a cape. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the one that's showing up inside the community when you need a food box. I'm the one showing up to pick up a kid and take them to the sports, to help coach them, to do that mentorship.
Right.
Are any of these artists that you're idolizing doing that?
Right.
No.
Right.
We're the ones showing up and doing that. So we're the real superheroes. We're the real sexy people up in here, making this thing look sexy. Where some people are like, oh man, you guys might be squares or all that constant stuff. It's like, well, you make the decision on your own. Would you rather talk about this or would you rather talk about that? I'm not here to force anything upon you, but you make the choice yourself. You know what I'm saying? Especially as you get older too as well. It's like I never thought I want to put my pen down and start creating and being a creator. Because this is therapeutic for me. So some people that stop doing it, they kind of lose their identity. Like I used to spit this whole time and now I don't spit no more. And now, coming to this lane over here, I'm inspired where I don't feel like I'm gonna ever stop. So I feel like I can continue being creative, being in this space, doing music until they close the casket. Because I'm forever getting educated and always learning. And because I'm getting this information, I'm going to be always teaching. Right. And this will give me another creative way to teach. Like sometimes I just get creative. Like, hey, we don't got to do a full 16. Let me just do an 8. Let me just do a 4. Let me just do an intro. Let me just stop right here and then drop a message. Reference another ancestor of mine that inspired me to keep going. That someone that I never knew about growing up. Now that I'm inspired, then I tell somebody else that probably never knew about these other people that came before me that inspired me. So I'm just loving everything R.B.G, and it's very inspiring too as well. So I can't wait to be on the next project. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. Hey, listen, these are just the starts, just so you're clear. And when a lot of times people who were doing rhymes or doing creative things were doing it for a reason, but they didn't understand what their purpose were. You know what I mean? When you get your purpose, now you're using your creative abilities for the proper reasoning. Before, you were just on it for the reason of this, that, and the third, which is in your face. But when it becomes an internal thing, you know what I mean, and you can now connect who you are with what you do, you have to keep doing it. You know what I mean? And I know for the Avengers, like we was all born in the 70s. You know what I'm saying? So what are you talking about? Stop. Can't do that. Did you not hear what we just did? Why would we stop doing what we do? You know what I mean? And any other genre, you know what I'm saying, in music, with the exception of some of the R&B and black music, they're still 70, 80 years old on stage getting paid. You know what I mean? Even if that's the case, that's another 30 to 40 years for some of us. You know what I'm saying? What can we do in 30, 40 years? What can we do in 20 years? You see what I'm saying? Like, so why would you stop doing that? And thank y'all for your contribution. Can't wait to hear the next. Man, that kind of leads us. I mean, again, we have been talking about what you guys do, and we just got into the music aspect after we talked about the other thing. You know what I'm saying? So let's go. Can you walk us through the vision and the goals behind your amplifying potential program, and why merging creativity with character development is essential for young Black and brown men?
That's basically mixing in the sugar in the medicine,
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Everybody's in multimedia, everybody's podcasting, everybody's recording, everybody's doing music, everybody's doing some form of media. You know what I'm saying? Whether that be content creation, whether that be podcasting, whether that be music, producing, engineering. So being effective, one of our businesses we have is a recording podcast studio, which where I'm at now. Um, we decided to, implement that, but then with the manhood training, throw a little R.B.G in there as well, and put that into amplify potential. Potential meaning the potential that they have is young Black men, and then now we're amplifying it, and also amplifying meaning on the sound wave type vibe as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, just basically mixing in the sugar in the medicine, man, making the medicine taste good. We were doing all that, and then doing the manhood training, healthy masculinity, stepping outside the man in the man box, and things of that nature. While we're doing the podcast and while we're doing the recording, while we got guests coming in, showing them how to do certain things and all that, man. It was just dope. It was dope.
Double and triple entendre in real time. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that ideal was an ideal. I'm here in Mississippi, and that ideal was an ideal that I tried to get off. I wasn't successful as getting it off, for as doing the same thing, but I was gonna draw the youth in with the music, because I'm I do music too. Took a break for a while, but I never stopped producing music. So that was one of my ways, was getting the youth back in, is through the music, by teaching them certain skill sets, how to record music, what I'm saying, how to
Right.
use different programs like Reason and Studio Pro, uh um and so many other different things, how to mix, how to master, how to count bars, what I'm saying, you know so many different things, but utilizing that with other men, and then drawing them in and just dropping nuggets in through teaching them the skill sets that they can go back now and someone that know how to sing, what I'm saying, show them how to arrange vocals, how to use their vocals, and et cetera, something, how to write structure, 16 verse, what I'm saying, 8 bar chorus, structuring the song or recording it or mixing it, and then going out and possibly, them utilizing that skill set to make some money off of the skill set, but in turn of that, us mentoring them on that, but also dropping some, and dropping certain things in on them, what I'm saying, which may not resonate with them right then, but may resonate with them later on, as Brother Crundo was saying, what I'm saying, easing, what I'm saying, some of the medicine in, what I'm saying, until it reached our youth. So I shout out to y'all for definitely doing that, and able to get it off, what I'm saying, because I know that took a lot of work to get it off, especially getting people to commit. That's the problem I had, was the commitment with the other men. Um, and a lot of people will talk about it, what I'm saying, talk about doing certain things, but a lot of them ain't gonna put the work in. We become, a lot of us become professional complainers. We want to complain about the circumstances that we in. We professional with that, but but we don't want to change the circumstances. We don't want to come up with any type of solutions. And again, that's another reason why I'm messing with y'all campaign, because y'all are, that's my favorite word, is executing. Y'all creating these ideals, and then y'all executing them, right? Y'all are executing them. Y'all not sitting back. Y'all creating solutions. Y'all could be like everybody else and sitting on the corner or at the store, or around at the barbecue, or around a smoking drum, what I'm saying, complaining about the issues with the youth, complaining about how your community look, complaining about how there's no businesses, black-owned businesses, in the community, but y'all are definitely, what I'm saying, or setting it, setting the standard. I would say so. Again, salute to y'all for not being professional complainers, and salute to y'all for being execution on every ideal that y'all put y'all wrap y'all mind around.
Yeah. Now, there's a second part to that question, which is, why is it merging creativity with character development essential for young black and brown men? Merging that character and creativity. Why is that an essential part of what you're doing?
Thurston, you want to answer that?
Yeah, no problem. I think it's very important because it allows us to be able to tell our story the way we want it to be told. Because when you look at us and how the media portrays us, they look at us as criminals and thugs and up to no good. So the way how we got amplified potential and the things that we're incorporating inside of it, I really don't see too many people doing those things. I know Brother Kondo talked about those media things. But also another thing we talked about and we entered a little bit through our amplified potential is also working with AI. It's now getting to these youth right now and incorporating AI and allowing them to utilize these tools to be creative and not have to focus on worry about going to an institution that might limit your creativity. So you might now can get in here and tell what you're seeing, what you're experiencing, and opposed to going to an art institution where they might like, hey, I like what you're doing, but said that may be too extreme, or that may be too radical for what we're at. So what we're doing right now is allowing them to fully express themselves, and then, like I said, like Kondo said, the medicine, sweet with the medicine, you make it sweet, but then also to create it and push it in the right direction. Like tell your story, but also tell your story that you're working through it, that we're coming together, that this is a therapeutic session. You know what I'm saying? That we're actually creating right here, where you're actually being guided to express yourself, to know that, hey, what I'm doing right here is what I did right here. But on the other end, I got enlightenment and I'm changing my way around to be a young righteous king. So that's the things that I noticed from us doing this amplified potential and incorporating AI along with the media, allowing these children to, young warriors, to then have access to these things, and then to allow them to then experience and showcase their artistry as well. And then, like I was saying, it then shows us and gives us the information and data to let us know how to approach them on what they need. Because these kids are very smart and very intelligent. Sometimes they just need a little bit of guidance, because if they get the wrong instruction, you kind of see what happens, right? They're gonna go just left the other route. So if they get the right instruction at the right time now and they go right, the future's looking bright, because we didn't have that guidance and we chose left, and we worked very, very hard to get back on the right trail when it came back around. But just imagine if you got that information, you got that mentorship, you got that tutelage from an OG says, hey, before you go left, and let's just go right. You have a real talent here. Let's just continue to nurture that talent.
Right.
So it's very beautiful.
It's like seeing a kid in a young child in a boxing, and going to the gym, the boxing gym, and they got a little bit of skill and talent. Listen, them streets are gonna call you, but this should be your calling. You know what I mean? And I can show you how to do that. I can show you how to be champ, kid. I can show you how to be champ. So,
you saying that reminds me of the story of Tank Davis.
Right. Exactly. You know what I mean? It's stories just like that you're doing it this way, you know what I mean? In a creative, not even as physical, you know what I mean? Like, it's dangerous for them later on. They got it, but you can touch more people with your word than you can with your fist. And so, you know what I mean? But you're giving them that direction and goal. And it's like, yo, this is the rites of passage perspective that we've been missing in the communities since we ain't had it in the communities. You know what I'm saying? I see it.
It's on you, son, or it's on me?
Is it? I think
I don't know. I'm just asking.
We was on 9. We was on 9. It was on
you.
you.
We got this. We got 2 more questions, son. We hour and a half show, and again, the questions we got like I said, I've done so much research on y'all. I got 1,000 questions, but we're not
Yeah.
gonna get to 1,000 questions.
Yo, every part of stuff, every one of these questions. Listen, I know the questions. I'm looking at them. Every one of these questions is fire because of your answers. Y'all have the answers, and you've done so much work. You know what I mean? So I think one of the things that we want the people to understand is they need to give you guys support in every way they possibly can because of the support you're giving to the community and the direction
Absolutely.
and the template that you're giving to the rest of us on how to get this done. You know what I'm saying? It's like Brother Kofi said, it ain't point the finger and complain, you ain't doing this and you ain't doing that. It's, hey, this is what we doing.
Right.
You spending your energy on, this is what we doing. You know what I mean? If you are doing it, we with you. If you're not doing it, we showing you. But this is what we doing. And as men, you know what I'm saying, who maybe want to do it, and you're not hounding them like everybody else is hounding them, that thing is it could be attractive to them. And now you're bringing in, like you said, speaking to more fathers who can make this even bigger and touch more children to become more warriors and more and guide them in it. So, you know what I mean? I think people just need to understand that, get in touch with you, make sure they stay in touch with you and help as much as they possibly can.
Yeah, they can always hit us up on the website, www.obfconline.com. On there, you can support by monetary donation. You can buy a shirt. You could buy a book. Man, just stream some of the music. Go to YouTube, download it. However you feel the best way that you can support, you can definitely do that through our website. And then of course all of our social media as well. But even just speaking positive on our name in rooms that we're not in and in conversations that we're not available to be in, just continuing to spread that positivity because we feel it and we hear it, even though we may not be there. We feel it. We feel it in the actions and you know, in the body language when we in each other's presence and so forth. So we feel it and we appreciate it as well. And that's part of the reason why we're able to continue to keep going, is because it's received well by the community and it's supported by our brothers and sisters in the R.B.G community as well. So that's helped keeping us afloat. You know, each one teach one is one of our mottos. So I think an important part for us in this journey is that we all have mentors ourselves. You feel me? And maybe several. And I think being in that mentee position allows us to be better suited when it's time for us to be mentors to the youth, because we're also a mentee to someone as well, where we have to humble ourselves and just listen for a second also. So it's kind of hard to have them do something that you're not necessarily doing either. So I would encourage any brothers that do want to step into that space with our youth is to first find a mentor for yourself also. You feel me? And develop that relationship. Like you literally have to present that. Like you don't always have to say, I want you to mentor me, but you're gonna have to find some different words to use to get that same point across. You know what I mean? And once you establish that and you start having that relationship with someone else, that makes you more equipped to step into being a youth mentor as well. That's just my two cents. I don't know everything because I'm still learning a lot, but I think that's a good point to make.
Those who
Spot on.
know how to lead.
Yeah, I think a good point to piggyback off what Brother Blah just said too as well, because people then also question, you know, me and myself, and then also O.B.F.C as far as like, why do y'all feel y'all should be in here in this space? Is because that we have been good followers to now become the good leaders. It wasn't just I'm just claiming myself as a leader. I can give you my mentors and give you who I study under and show you the work that I have done, not only on myself, but in the community, and then let you know what I've done to now put me in this spot to be said a community leader or a youth mentor. Because I had done the work, you know what I'm saying? I'm not just stepping out here. So I do understand the process and do understand what's going on to now be in the space to offer this guidance to you. I'm not here to force you to do anything. I think that's where some people jumping into this space get it misconstrued that you're not here to force them to do anything because we're all gonna make our own decisions. However, if you step in here and just be a guide to when they need you, that's good enough right there. Because a lot of us don't. That's the therapy right there. Is hey, when you reach this point, just give me a call. And, if you, I tell this to my father. Hey, question me as we go. So, hey, Dad, why are we doing this? Hey, Dad, what made you do that? Hey, Dad, what made you do this? Oh, so as we go, I'll definitely let you know. That's that wisdom I'm gonna give to you. It's not just far on your own. Don't do as I say, do as I do. So I think it's very important if you step into this space that we have to be that model. To be one, you have to see one. It's just very important that as us, as being in this space, we definitely have to walk a righteous walk because you didn't have to explain this to your son or to your daughter for your actions. So if you live in a righteous man or a righteous woman, when that time comes for you to answer that question, hey, I did this because of this. And I can show you the reasons why I did this opposed to going this way. Like I said, that fork in the road. We can pull up numerous people that went left. I want to tell you what it looks like to go to the right.
Right. Correct.
Yeah, and that
Yeah,
I love
answer those babies' questions when they got questions. I know when I was growing up, they used to be like, "Boy, hush."
right. Exactly.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
had a
Right.
million and one questions.
Yeah.
When my baby asked, man, sometimes she just shoots them back to back. But I'm like, I can only imagine trying to figure something out and asking the questions and being shut down. So sometimes that's a challenge too. Once you say start asking me questions, be prepared to answer them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's the bump.
yeah, I definitely like the part. I say that a lot. I say that a lot to my wife. The thing is, we grew up as do as I say, not as I does. But what he said, I amplify that all the time because we are the role models. We don't want to contradict ourselves. We're contradicting ourselves to our children and our youth when we tell them to do what I say and not what I does. While we telling them to do the right thing, we showing them to do how to do the wrong thing. We're confusing them, right? So we have to be that example. We have to be that right example. So whatever we willing to tell our children to do, we got to be in order and doing the same thing as well. So I definitely agree with what the brother said about that definitely as well, and the mentorship. I believe in mentoring. Mentoring is very important. You know what I'm saying? I have several mentors. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not ashamed to say that I have several mentors, several men and women that I go to. You know what I'm saying, for counseling for various different reasons because I'm a creator. So I try to someone who's been a father for a long time, someone I'm in the book world, so someone who has experience in the book business world. I have a mentor for that. Someone who's been a writer for a long time, I have a mentor for that. Someone who has been in media for a long time, I have a mentor for that. So someone who is in African culture, or what we like to call kimoyo now. I know a lot of people refer to it as African spirituality or African traditional religion, but I have a mentor in that as well. So I have several. So it's nothing wrong with having mentors. I advise everyone, like the brother said, find you a mentor. You know what I'm saying? And that can help you, but to develop yourself. So when you're ready to venture out there, you can be that great mentee as well. But first, get you a mentor first and see what that look like. Um, we got one more question, man, and then we got to wrap the show up, man. We don't want it to be too long, but this in here is um. Hold on, y'all.
Y'all
This
was spitting jewels the whole time too.
Yes,
I
yes, yes.
mean,
I'm enjoying it, man. I'm really enjoying it, man. Can you share a powerful, success story from one young man who has gone through your programs, whether in the Amplifying Potential, the race program, or the R.B.G. Youth Initiative?
Sure. Um, So this was actually a different program, different from those three as well. So we also had a program titled the Sons Program, which is an acronym for Saving Our Noble Sons, SONS. And then we also had a program titled Fight for Life, No Excuses. So with our Fight for Life, No Excuses program, one of the young men who actually started with us at the beginning when we first started that program in about 2017, and he graduated in it, and at 17 he was done with our particular program. So he went through our program every year until he turned 17. He graduated high school, and then he went on to college, and our communication is stopped for a second there. But when I finally got back in contact with him, I learned that he was going to school. He was the president of the Black Student Union. So I invited him to come and speak at this previous rites of passage program as as alumni, so to speak. And one of the things that really stood out to me is he came out there and he was facing the crowd, and he said, "You know what? I gotta actually face this way." And he faced the young men, and he said, "Because everything I have to say, I'm saying it to y'all, not necessarily to the crowd." So just to have him like understand exactly what his position is, um, again, I'm gonna continue to use this word, but it was motivating for me, because when you see like the work in front of you, and then you see it like working and it's coming alive right there before your eyes, it's a beautiful thing. And just to have him be successful and do all of the things, attempt to do all of the things that we all talked about for years, and even when we are not in contact with him, for him to still continue to strive for that excellence was powerful. But then just for him to have those words to the young men as well, so it gave me the hope that eventually I'm gonna be able to pass the torch also. You feel me? Because this is a role that I don't necessarily want to be in forever. I want to develop young men who will eventually take the torch and continue this thing, and in that way I can step into my next role. So that was very powerful for me this year. And it was with the R.B.G program also, which was our first year of doing the R.B.G program. So to have him come back, and we've sprinkled R.B.G in every program that we've done. So to have him come back and understand what we're doing now, it feels like, he's a part of the team. So I just want to salute K Ray, young Kenneth. I still got him saved in my phone as little Kenneth, but he like 5 inches taller than me now. Yeah, that's my young king right there, young Kenneth.
Beautiful. Yes, sir.
I got two. One who wasn't in the actual program. I mentored him at the college here at ASU. His name is Avery Wilson. I mentored him. He came in as a freshman, and he was just soaking it all up. And so this is my first time actually mentoring somebody. And I was thinking like, is it working? Is it not working? However, we kept on meeting up. Every time we got a chance to meet up, and when we finally got to the end of the program, just the things that he said during our overview almost made me shed a tear, because he first started off, he said, Mr. Thurston Smith is like my father. And I was just like, right. And it's just like, oh, it did work. And the things that he was able to talk about during an overall year that I was able to mentor him was just the things that I just kept on pouring. I'll pour to the cup overfilled 100 times. And if the hearing spirit out really touched my heart. But however, the one gentleman that went through our program I can speak to is my son, Tavion Smith. He goes to all the programs, but the thing is, I'm not, dad there. I'm I'm Brother Thurston. And so to see him interact and have the conversation with the other youth that's inside the program is just very inspiring, where it's not just, hey, my dad said this. It's like, oh, my dad once said this, but said, what do you think? And to bounce that ideas off of each other. And then for him to leave with his own thoughts, like, oh, wow, I was thinking this way. But after speaking to other youth and us coming together during those breakout sessions, we all agreed to not have sex till marriage. And I was like, wow, that was great. We're having a breakout session about, healthy masculinity and what that looks like. And some of the older youth that was inside the program we're mentoring, and during our breakout session, telling them, hey man, don't even work, save it. I did it, and I wish I never done it. So you guys should just hold off. And that was just something that they did on their own. So I was just really impressed from the work that we're doing and how we cultivated that space for them to have that conversation, and then for them to now get that information from their peers, I guess the older generation that's older than them, to now inspire them to make the right decision because they learn. Each one teach one. So the younger generation, I was just, ear hustling as I was cleaning up with Brother Blau, and then hear that they came together and said, hey, wait to have sex. So wait to get married to have sex. That was very powerful to me. And so just a lot of nuggets were shared. However, just that gym alone, can save your life. I know a lot of us, probably did it the other way. And then we came through all these trials and thinking about, man, if I would have did it this way, my life would have been a lot different. I would have had more color in my beard. My stuff fell off. So I probably would have had my hair more. If I just would have waited and understood courting the right person, and a man who finds a wife finds a good thing, and also knowing what is a wife. You know what I'm saying? And not just mating with my eyes. I think that's right there is just very, very powerful. And that has been a lot of men's downfall going through the history, learning about how these men have basically sent for women and then have failed. Right. So understanding and courting the right one and getting that information as a young man, you're light years ahead of everyone else.
Yes.
And I was just gonna say that what he said is powerful, because just going back, because we're talking about rites of passage. So you got, after you got the naming right, you know what I'm saying, you have the adult right. And after the adult right, you have the marriage right, right? So they're teaching them, when they teaching them how to be adult, when the men are taking the children off and mentoring them, they're teaching them the understanding of what a husband is and how he's supposed to treat a woman and how he is supposed to have his offsprings through marriage, right? So marriage is one of the most important, right? Marriage, it also is complemented with reproducing. But in order to reproduce, one must find a good wife. You know what I'm saying? So because in most traditions, someone who has and even with me growing up, it was like that. It's not like that anymore, but having a child outside of wedlock, it was frowned upon in a lot of African cultures. You know what I'm saying? And even with me growing up in the community that I come from, it was the same way. It was frowned upon. So if your daughter had a child out of wedlock, you know what I'm saying, they would, the parents, our parents in our community would try to hide that away from everybody else so it wouldn't get out into the community, because it was shamed upon for you to have sex and then reproduce with someone, you know what I'm saying, and you're not married to that person. That person is not committed to you. You know what I'm saying? That person is not even able to take care, because we having children now at early ages. You know what I'm saying? So we're not even, men and women is not even fully developed. Their brains is not fully developed. They can't take care of themselves. So yeah, but most definitely, man, we just need that rites of passage key piece. And man, I salute to those young men for waiting, you know what I'm saying, to have sex until they're able to get married.
Yeah, that's another conversation. We could definitely go on and on about that one. Even my own personal struggles and challenges with that. I'm a grandfather now as well. My grandson is 1 year old. I was just with him earlier, and that's one of the most happiest things that I got going on in my life right now. But it wasn't always that way, and I'm sure y'all brothers understand that. But I definitely wanted to point out something Thurston's mentioned. And it's also another motivating factor for me, is that typically these mentorship programs, it's misunderstood that it's just like it's only for single mothers, and it's here to like substitute for fathers not being there. But it's almost the total opposite from that, because we're just here to assist with what's already been developed. And it's a reminder when fathers come to us and they enroll their young men into our programs, because to have a father come out and say, hey, I trust other men to help me develop my young man into where he needs to be.
Yeah.
That's something like something like that can have me doing it forever. You feel me?
Yeah.
Those small little things like that. I'm like, man, that's powerful
Yes,
because
sir.
we know how we are as men.
Yes,
It's
sir.
hard enough to ask for assistance, but then I'm gonna include my baby boy with that.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
man, I just wanted to point that out also.
Yes,
Each
sir.
one, I like to say, each one teach three because we need four more. You know what I mean? I know that you mean, and I agree with each one teach one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Or
just
as
adding to it.
yeah, as I learned, that's my phrase. It's a
Yeah.
spinoff of each one, teach one. As I learn, we all learn. So
Yeah.
So it's
yeah, man.
we definitely feel you. We definitely are there with you, and we are definitely. Let me look. If I was in Arizona, yeah, you know what I mean. It would have been really been going down. I would have been there and going. Hey, let's. You mean all y'all coming? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All y'all coming. And shoot.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Well,
important, you know.
we finna wrap up the show. We at the end
Yes,
of the
sir.
show, man. I definitely want to say, I enjoyed the interview, man. I appreciate the work that you brothers are out there doing out there in Arizona. And if there's anything that I can assist, well, and we already done, I ain't even got to say that because I got your number, brother Bilal. You know, whatever you need from me, in the writing program, what I'm saying, I'm with it. You just let me know what I need to do, and I'm I'm gonna make sure that I'm able to get it done, man. Son, you got some, and then after Son speak, man, if y'all got any closing words, close out and make sure that y'all give the people out there, man, your how to reach y'all. You know what I'm saying? How to reach, you good brothers.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. First of all, thank y'all. I got a request more than anything else. You know what I mean, on that last song, I'm trying to hear that man Samusa. But for y'all, music wise, please send me send the Vengeance Radio all your music and every show that you have that or whatever you're doing that you can put vocals on and put it to MP3. I can play it on Vengeance Radio at particular times throughout the week, such and such. So anything that you can create and make an audio of, send it to me. I will play it, and you know what I mean. We'll just help spread the word and pass that. Pass it around via Vengeance Radio as well. And that was all I really wanted to let y'all know. You know what I'm saying? And you got my math, you know what it is, and so you know what I mean, just just touch base with me on that when you have it and it'll be playing. And
Yes,
I'll
sir.
get it right. So that was it for me. It's been a
Sir.
pleasure. It's been a pleasure, my brothers. Pleasure.
Yes, it's been a pleasure. Again, you can definitely reach us at the website www.obfconline.com. Our Instagram is at obfc.az. Facebook is facebook.com/Black Fathers Committee. Fan base as well, Black Fathers Committee. So you can hit us up on there also. I just appreciate the opportunity. I'm always grateful to have others spend time and getting to know us and giving us a platform to tell our story and keep this thing going as well. So gratitude, brother. I appreciate it.
No problem. No problem.
Likewise, appreciate much respect. I definitely appreciate the opportunity to be on here. For building with you guys here on this Sunday evening. I know everyone could have been doing something else, but the fact that y'all decided to tune in here, man, it means a lot. Respect.
Most definitely. Well, I didn't got the Musa song, the Mansa Musa song. I something told me to download it onto my Rodecaster Pro 2. I just put that one on there. But we gonna leave them back with the same song, you know what I'm saying? That anthem, that banger, by themselves, So let's see. Obi got something. Obi said something. Our Black Fathers committee call every Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We talked about that today, Obi. We definitely talked about that call. I definitely need to get on that sometime here myself, man, and cry a little bit out to some of these young black men. Maybe they can help me, take some of this gray out my
Hey, shout out to OB and MCE also.
Yeah.
That They be dropping some fire too. That working on myself. I'll be doing that. Hey, that's my joy right there. For real, man. I love that track.
Yo, I'm a Money and Fame. I'm a Money and Fame favorite right now. That Money and Fame boy, I want to make me want to do something in the club,
Right.
man. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Did you hear what he said? Look at you chasing your chains.
Right.
Look at you going insane. Yeah, man. I want to. Yeah, I love it. But yes, sir. I'm glad you mentioned it.
Yes, sir. Well, we out of here, man. We'll see y'all next week at 6 p.m. We appreciate everybody that tuned in. We appreciate those who stayed the duration of the time. We appreciate those who popped in and popped out. We appreciate those who may check this show out later on in the archives. We appreciate y'all. Peace and Black African Power, a bit of Houdier, race first, and we'll see y'all when we see y'all.
Yeah, this Ghost Dogs, I see you. What we got here? This that? This that O.B.F.C. Yeah, I mean, we came to plant these seeds. I mean, create through the music, breaking oppression.
My seeds, man, I put that on me. I make sure they gotta eat on the job, on the streets for my seeds. Young kings, young queens, R.B.G, red, black, and the green Piesie. Now that's what I call my team, family over everything. I ain't never out of reach for my seeds. And that's how we gotta be. Real ones follow me, each one, teach one, plant seeds.
Microphone checking my status since I've been crowned father. I grind harder, wife and 2 daughters, a righteous black God in that red, black, and green. That's balance for the beam, family over everything. I'm dropping seeds every chance I get, and then I watch them all grow. No magic tricks. Sing Kofi, you know, bruh, gotta put that on your platter. Don't care about what they say, we say black fathers matter.
When it comes to my seeds, gotta keep that real energy. Literally, every single day create memories. Figuratively, I orchestrate moves like a symphony. Vividly, I sit with these thoughts like epiphanies. Literally, can change the game and make history officially. My daughter never see me in a penitentiary. That shit to me, cause all we got is us, all we got is trust. Every day I gotta rush, I don't believe in love. Man, I put that on me. I make sure they gotta eat on the job, on the streets for my seeds. Young kings, young queens, R.B.G, red, black, and the green Piesie. Now that's what I call my team, family over everything. I ain't never out of reach for my seeds. And that's how we gotta be. Real ones follow me, each one, teach one, plant seeds.
Like a back street. I let my son ride shotgun while these other suckers take the back seat, and that's the only one that can pass me. Something heavy in my diaper bag, homie, you can match me. Riding down the avenues with the seat back. Who that? Diamondback, proud to be black, that's your daddy. Sitting clean in the rag seat, going hard for my committee and La Familia's mad black fathers.
Look, I'm from a spot where blacks get rejected. Selling dope and gangbanging get you well respected. Being a felon get you well neglected. Where the black fatherhood challenge was accepted. To show the youth a better route. Teach them right from wrong and what